Hello to boys out there, it's a brand new week, so you guys know what that means. A new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm taking you guys along on my adventures that I get to this week. So I've got a few days off work, which meant I was able to have a lovely lie-in this morning and not have to set any alarms. I then got up and showered and changed, and I had some crumpets with a cup of tea for my breakfast. I then had some bear cuddles. I was playing with him out in the garden, and it was another beautiful sunny day with beautiful blue skies. The spring weather that we've been wanting for so long. I'm so done with this horrible rain, and I'm looking forward to the spring weather now. I then watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and just worked on some illustrations and colour some days in. I got a mirror selfie from the end room after shaving my head. I've got this special razor that gets rid of all the hair, little bits, so it's nice and smooth. And I'll show you guys that mirror selfie. I love it. Being bold. I never thought that I'd ever like being bald, but I love the confidence boost that a clean head shave gives you, and apparently makes me look a lot younger, which I will take. I then was just reading some more of the long game and a cup of tea and some of my custard creams, tidied up my office and dolls and dollhouse a little bit, and then I sorted my Bleater doll out into a new look, and I'll show you guys that. Here is my Bleater doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these yellow trainers with daisies on. And then she's got these blue denim jeans, and her jeans are tucked into her shoes. And then she's got this yellow cardigan, and then this beautiful printed t-shirt with lots of leaves all over it. Then this double necklace, and then her hat. And this is the whole look. It's giving Y2K boho vibes, which I love. I then got myself ready to go off for a walk and head off on a lovely stroll, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. And whilst on my walk, I was listening to music on my headphones. I then made my way up to the high street, and I went off to one of the pubs and had a drink from there, and got 2 mirror selfies from this golden mirror from there that I'll show you guys. It's such a beautiful mirror. I love a golden mirror. I then went off and had a look at one of the child shops. I went off to one of the book shops. I love the smell of old books so much, and then popped into Aldi and looked at the Best Buy section. I then went off to one of the cafes and had some lunch from there, and I got some nachos and hot chocolate, and I'll show you guys that. The hot chocolate and nachos I had from there was so delicious. I then sat and chilled in there for a little bit and let my food go down, and got some mirror selfies from there to show you guys. We've got such pretty mirrors in there, and really cute lanterns and lights hanging down in there. I then went off to the loo just before heading off, and got a snap of this beautiful sink they have in there, and I'll show you guys that. That sink is so beautiful. I love the patterns and the artwork on that sink. I then went off and had a look around some more of the child shops, and went off to see my mate who I go to morning group with in one of the other cafes next door to one of the child shops I was in, and had a nice chat with them. And then I got 2 mirror selfies from that, I'll show you guys. The mirrors in there are so pretty, and the wallpapers and prints and the lanterns they have in there. I then went off to the flower shop, and I got some plants that's from there, I'll show you guys. There's a really new plant displays in there, so I was having a lovely look at those, at all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned leaves. And I love the tomato little plant pots they have now. And then I was having a lovely chat with the plant shopkeepers in there. I then got some flower sats from there, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty flower stats on there. They've got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with such lovely colours and patterns on. Lots of very spring colours, lots of pastels, very beautiful. I was having a lovely look around there at all the flowers and plants. I just love flower and plant photography so much. I then went off and had a look at some of the shops, and went off to one of the child shops I hadn't been into as it was shut over lunchtime and opened after they did have their lunch. And I got a cute mirror selfie from there that I'll show you guys. We've got some really cute mirrors in that child shop, and my sister Fonte's in there. I was chatting to one of the people who works in there, and they are so lovely, and she's having a really good time volunteering at that child shop. And then I made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got home and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and just read some more of the long game, wrote some of my journal entry for today, listened to a bit of music and tidied up my office and dolls and dollhouse and little bits. And then my dad took Bear off for his walk. They got back and I went off for a little stroll myself, enjoying this beautiful sunshine, and went off to the shops. I got myself a drink to have for the walk back as it's quite warm out there, and had that and listened to music on my headphones. And I got myself some tea, and I got myself a mac and cheese to have for my tea. And I got back and I was just watching a bit of Escape to Country and Firebound and Garden Rescue and some stuff off a court that I just finished watching, and just went some more of the long game. And then for my tea I had my mac and cheese, and I'll show you guys that. The mac and cheese I had for my tea was so delicious, nice and cheesy, just how I like it. I then was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. Sea lions are my favourite animals at the moment, they're just so bloody cute. I then finished off 2 new illustrations, and I'll show you guys a couple of those. Here are 2 of my new illustrations I'm going to be showing you guys. Starting off with this one here. She's got this long flowing hair and this ruffled off the shoulder gown with her leg out, and she's got these black high heels on. She's got these gloves on. She's got this triangle ring on. And she's got this necklace with a rose brooch on, these lashes, and she's just so pretty. And then this one here, she's got this ball gown on, heart cut with this pretty pattern at the top of the heart cut of the dress, these puffy sparkly sleeves, this pearl necklace and pearl earring, and these gloves. She's got a ring on, she's got this handbag, these netting stockings, and then these high heels. And I love the lashes and the ring eyeliner, and it's very glitz, very glam. It's giving chic, glam, movie award vibes, and I love them so much. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home Away and UK soaps. Finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be reading some more of the long game and probably have some more of my custard creams with a cup of tea. I love a custard cream so much, and shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday and I got up early ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place. And before that I had some porridge for my breakfast, watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and was playing with Bear out in the garden, and it was a lovely sunny day again. I'm hoping this is the weather that we're going to be getting from now on. I'm so done with the rain, and I got a cute snap of Bear on the sofa, and I'll show you guys. He's so beautiful, he's got such beautiful brown eyes, and he's giving me lots of kisses, I'm having lots of Bear cuddles. And then I got myself ready to go off and get the bus to the garden centre. I was off to Armsby Garden Centre, and I got to the bus stop just as the bus was about to leave, so I managed to time it perfectly. Got on the bus, and whilst on the bus to the garden centre I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got off the bus and made my way down to the garden centre, got over the road and into the garden centre, and I then was getting some snaps from the home section and having a lovely look around there, and I'll show you guys the snaps I got from there. Some really cute spring bits coming in. I was then having a look at the stationery section and at the mugs and the plushies and the books, and then I went over to the plant section and got some plant snaps from there. That plant section is huge. I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant displays they have in there. I then went off to the flower section and I got some flower snaps from there that I'll show you. You've got a load of spring flowers starting to appear in the garden centres, lots of pretty blossoms and flowers, and I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps from there. I then had a look around the garden centre, outside of the garden centre, a bit more where the greenhouses are and where the bigger plants are, and I went off and had a look at the sweet section, and they have a load of Easter stuff in, so lots of Easter eggs and chocolates and bits like that, so I was having a look around at that. And then I made my way off to get the bus back from the garden centre, and I got off to go off to the Alpaca Cafe and get some lunch from there. I then got in there and I had a coronation chicken sandwich with some salad and a chai latte, and I'll show you guys. The coronation chicken sandwich and salad and the chai latte I had from there was so lovely. It's such a great cafe and the staff in there is so lovely. I then chilled in there for a little bit, let my food go down, and then went on and had a look at all the alpacas out into a packer enclosure, and then I made my way off for a little stroll and was enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. We've just been having such beautiful weather, and then I stopped off at the pub just at the top of the hill before heading back down the hill into town. I got a drink from there and sat and had that. I had an Orange and Pacific J2O. Orange and Pacific J2s are my favourite. I just love them so much. I was having a lovely chat with the staff in there. The barman in there is so lovely. And then just before leaving, I got some mirror socks from there. They've got such beautiful mirrors in there. I then made my way back down the hill and headed back into town and was listening to music on my headphones. I was on my way back. I then went off into the high street and had a look at the child shops. I went off to Swanley's, one of my favourite shops to go to, and got some snacks off some of the displays in there, and I'll show you guys those. They always have really cool displays in there. They sell things like plants, stationery, socks, prints, all things that I absolutely love. I was then having a lovely chat with the shopkeepers in there, and they're so lovely. I then went off and had a look at the child shops, and then got this perfume from one of the child shops which says Miss Dreamer, and it's got such a cute bottle, and I tried a little bit on my wrist and it smells so beautiful. It's a really flowery scent, and it reminds me of the perfume that my grandma uses, and she always used to have such lovely bottles of perfume like this on her vanity, and I used to always sneak in and spray it on me, and this is such a beautiful smell, and it's really calming as well. And then I went off to Dee's Bakes, this bakery place where there's a cafe and they sell things for cakes, like cake tops and stuff like that. They now also sell mugs and little bits like that I've got some things from there before for myself. And I saw this mug and knew I had to get it for Amelia as a belated birthday present from last month. And it says, "I'm sexy and I grow it," and it comes with a little spade for a little stirrer, and she's got a little plot on the allotment in town, and I thought she'd be able to take this down and have a cup of coffee whilst tending to her plot, so I'm looking forward to giving that to her. I then went off into Aldi and had a look around there. They've just had it refurb, and I went off to the Best Buy section and then ended up getting this little monkey toy for Bear. He is an absolute destroyer of all things toys. We have to be really careful to get him because he gets through them so quickly. Luckily this one is one of the special ones that has like rope inside, so it should hopefully take him longer to destroy, and the head squeaks a bit, which is so cute, and I thought I'd show you guys before he destroys it. Hopefully it takes longer to destroy than usual. I then went into the card factory and got a Mother's Day card. Don't forget, 15th of March, Mother's Day, so got that card for my mum. And then I met Tash after work and had hot chocolate out in the seating area outside, and had a catch up with her. She had a pint, and then I was going to head back to hers, but ended up coming back instead as I've got to go to Jigsaw at 6:30. I didn't want to be getting back too late, and also needed to charge my phone as it was going to die. And then I got back and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits and got my Jigsaw top in my bag, and I think I'm going to plan to go to Tash and Amelia's just before Jigsaw and give Amelia the mug, and I'm now going to be playing with Bear with his toy. I can't wait to give this to him and to see you a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from Jigsaw later on. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at Jigsaw on touring, and before going off to Jigsaw on touring I popped to Tash and Amelia's, and me and Tash were watching Mamma Mia and had some cups of tea and some Nutella croissants, which was so delicious. And then Amelia got back from being at work, and I gave her the mug that I got for her for a belated birthday gift from last month, and she loved the mug I got her and was really happy that she liked it and gave me a big hug. She found it very funny, and she can have that down in the allotment when she's having her coffee when going down there and sorting out her veg and her flowers. And then she had to head off to her parents' house, and then I got changed into my Jigsaw t-shirt that I had in my bag, and then headed off to go to Jigsaw. Got to Jigsaw and we played this game like Snakes and Ladders, and if you landed on a blue square you had a card you had to pick up, and it said a scenario like you've turned up late to work, how does this make you feel? And if it made you feel bad, or if it was a bad one, you'd go down, and if it made you feel good, you'd go up. And we played that for a bit, and then we had some hot chocolates, we did fruit and veg of the day, and then we played One Quick Murder, and we did some hammer bead art, and I did this seahorse, which is so cute. And I'm not the best at doing friendly things like this, I'm quite crack-handed, but I got through it quite quickly, and then we ironed it, and it turned out really well. And then it was the end of the session, and we're going to be going to the gym next week to do a session there, which should be fun. I then got picked up by my dad, got back and put my worktop jigsaw in the wash, and then I had my tea, and for my tea I had some pie and some potato and gravy, and I'm show you guys that. The pie that I had for my tea was so delicious with the potatoes and the peas and gravy. It was a cheese leek one, which was mwah. And then I finished my journal entry for today, and then put that away, and I am now off to go and watch today's Homeaway UK soaps, and then I'm going to be reading some more of the 5th Heartstopper book that I've started reading. The 6th one is out later this year, and I'm going to be having a cup of tea and some custard creams whilst reading a bit of that. And I finished the 2nd Rivalry book of the ones with Elliot and Shane. Their story of the 3rd one is out next year now, so I'm going to be reading the 5th Heartstopper book whilst waiting for that to come out, and the Heartstopper book as well, which is for the final one. And then tomorrow I'm going to be heading into town with Tash, and we're going to this jungle plant themed cafe that I saw a load of TikToks about, and it looks very up my street, so I'm very excited to go check that out, and to see if more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up after a bit of a lie-in. I then got showered and changed, and for my breakfast I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea. I then watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and was reading some more of Heartstopper Volume 5 that I've just started reading, and had some custard creams with a cup of tea. I then tidied up my office in Dolls and Dollhouse, and was playing with Bear out in the garden, and it was a lovely, beautiful sunny day with lovely sunshine, and he loves his new teddy I got him yesterday. He's already destroyed it. Basically, he is a destroyer of toys, but I managed to get a cute snap of him fast asleep with his new teddy, and I'm sure you guys that. He is so adorable. I then got myself ready to go off and meet Tash to go off into town to head to the Garden of Easton, this really cute plant themed cafe that I'd seen TikToks about, and knew that me and Tash had to go and check that out. So I met her at the bus stop. I was going to go to her flat, but as I headed there, she was just heading down. So we then waited and got the bus into town, and was listening to music on my way up, and was listening to a bit of Lady Gaga. And whilst on the bus, I was just listening to a bit of music and was watching some funny dog and cat videos and some TikToks, and having some good chats with Tash. And I was so excited to get to this plant themed cafe that I'd seen loads of TikToks about, and we went off to the flower shop when we got into town first of all, which was just by the bus stop that we got off at, and I got some flowers that's on there to show you guys. They've always got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there, and it all smells so good in there with all the lovely flowers, all the roses. I then got some plant stats from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. They've always got such beautiful plant displays in there with all the succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned plant pots. I then was having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there, and got 2 service in photos of the flowers and plants they had in there. And Tash had gone into the cafe next door and got a coffee whilst I was in the flower shop. And then we went off to Surroundings, one of my favourite places to go. It sells lots of really cool art prints, stationery, socks, mugs, lots of arts and craft bits, and really cool clothes and jumpers, all things I love. So I was having a lovely look around there, and got some mirror surface for some of the mirrors from there to show you guys. They've always got such beautiful mirrors in there. I then went off with Tash to get the bus to the Garden of Easton cafe. I'm so excited to head there. And we got there and it did not disappoint. It was so stunning. There was plants and lanterns hanging down from the ceiling and it was just so beautiful. Like, there's just so much to look at and see. It was just so stunning. And we got sat upstairs on this 2-seater little table and I got some snaps from there of all the plants and lanterns, and I'll show you guys those. It's so beautiful, and we sat and were chatting with one of the servers, and they're so lovely in there, so welcoming, and they looked after us very well, gave us some water to have, and then we ordered our food and we both had pancakes. I had some fruit pancakes and Tash had some bacon and maple pancakes with some blueberries on, and mine had some blackberries and cherries on, and they arrived and it was very quick service as well. There wasn't much wait for the food, which was lovely, and I'll show you guys the pancakes I had. The pancakes I had were so delicious. They were a good size, but they didn't make me feel afterwards like I was stuffed and I couldn't eat anything else for the rest of the day. They just filled me up just the right amount, and I had a chai latte as well and had a bit of Tash's bacon, and it was so crispy, and she had one of the cherries from the little fruit compote I had. And then we sat and chilled in there for a little bit and just chatted, and then we headed off, and on the way out I got some snaps taken off me in front of some of the lanterns and plants, and I'm sure you guys those. Such a beautiful cafe. I'm so glad I found that on TikTok. So I'll definitely be heading back there again with Tash very soon in the summer. They have a little table and chairs, and it opens out from inside. You can sit at like a little bar and have drinks at. So we'll definitely be going back there again and have some drinks from there. Tash had this really cool looking smoothie that she really enjoyed, so we'll probably go back there for some smoothies. And then we made our way back and headed back home and went off and got some bits from Greg's, and then went back to Tash's, and we were watching a bit more of Mamma from last night that we'd watched, and we're going to be having to finish the last little bit next time, as Tash had to head off to football training, so she had to get ready for that. So I then made my way back from there, and whilst on my way back I was listening to a bit of music, and I got back and my mum was at our family friend's house. She'd gone there for the afternoon, and my dad was fishing, so it was just me and my younger sister at home. We gave the dog his dog food, and then I got my parcel of my new shoes that had arrived, and I'm sure you guys, my new work shoes have arrived. Here they are. They're a black and orange pair. They've got these orange bits on the side here. Tried them on and they fit very well, and the ones I did have for work have got a bit worn down, so I'm going to use those as a spare pair. I've just been breaking those new shoes in, and my mum got back from being at our family friend's house, and then my dad got back shortly after and took Bear for a little walk. My mum was then getting tea ready, and we were having curry for tea, and it smelled so good. I was then just reading some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I had a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits. I love a custard cream. I then just worked on some illustrations, worked on a bit of my short story that I've been working on, and was listening to a bit of music. And then for tea we had our curry, and I'll show you guys that. The curry that we had for tea was so delicious. I then finished writing my journal entry for today, put it that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's home and away and UK soaps and catch up on new RuPaul's Drag Race UK vs the World, and to see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up after a lie-in, and it was another beautiful sunny day with beautiful blue skies. My moods definitely reflect on the weather, so if it's more rainy and dark and gloomy, I'm tending to be not in the best of moods, but when the sun shines out and blue skies, I'm in such a better mood. And I got some toast for my breakfast. I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea. I was then just watching a little bit of TV. There's just some music and playing with Bear out in the garden, and he's very excitable, giving me lots of cuddles and lots of kisses. And I was playing with him with his little monkey toy. It's barely anything anymore. It's literally been ripped to shreds, but he still loves it. He sleeps with it, he cuddles up with it, and it's just so cute. that he loves it so much. I then got showered and changed, and I just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. I am loving my sea lions at the moment. They're just so goddamn cute. I then had a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits and went a little bit more of the 5th volume of Heartstopper. And then me and my mum got ready to go off for lunch with my grandma, and we went off and collected my grandma, and then went off to one of the pubs in the high street, and I had a halloumi burger with some chips and some salad, and I'm sure you guys that. The food there was so lovely, and it's recently been taken over by a new lot of people, and the service was really good, and I was chatting with the 2 new owners of the place. As someone who also works in hospitality, we were chatting about that and how the tills tend to never be working when you want them to work, which I know very much how it's like with tills playing up. And then I went off to Boyd Loo just before leaving, and it's up flight of stairs. Felt like I was in a Wetherspoons, and then I got 2 mirror selfies from there. These mirrors are so cute. And then me and my mum headed back with my grandma to ours, and then my mum brought me back home and then got my younger sister to take up to the high street to go to the charity shop in volunteering that she does on a Thursday, and then brought our grandma back to hers, and I made my way off to go to the garden centre, my happy place. And whilst on my way up there, I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. I was able to get some really pretty selfies in front of some of the pink and mudflowers and white blossoms that have appeared. Spring is definitely on its way. I'm so excited. I love all things spring, and the photos turned out really well with me in front of the blossoms with my floral jumper on. I then got up to the garden centre, and they had a load of really good songs playing, so I got myself singing along. I was looking around the garden centre, and I got some flower sets from the flower section, and I'm sure you guys those. They've always got such beautiful flowers in that garden centre. Those blue ones and red ones with those black heads on are so pretty, and the red and white ones as well. And then I went off and had a look at the home section. I was looking at the stationery and at the socks and mugs and notebooks, all things I absolutely love but I don't need any more of at the moment. I went off to the sweet section and the Easter section. They've got a load of cute Easter displays set up at the moment, so I was having a look at those, and then head off to the plant section where I got some plant sets from there, and I'll show you guys those. Just got a load of new plant displays in, so I was having a lovely look around there at all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned leaves and cute coloured plant pots with lovely bright and vibrant colours. I then heard a robin chirping very happily, and I got a photo of the robin, and I'm going to show you guys that. I love robins. They say if a robin appears, it's a loved one coming to say hello. I also got a clip of the robin chirping away, and I'll show you guys that. They're such beautiful birds. I then was chatting with one of my mates who works in the garden centre, was having a really lovely catch up with them. I then had a quick look in the aquarium at all the fishes, which I love going to do. I then made my way back, and whilst on my way back from being at the garden centre, I called up Tash for a catch up. I was just asking her how her day had been and just saying how my day had been, what I'd been up to. I was then just listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies, loving this weather. I'm hoping this sunshine lasts. I'm so done with this awful rainy weather that we had been having, and I'm loving this more spring type weather. I then stopped off at one stop to get myself a drink to have for the rest of the walk home, and got myself something to have for my tea. I then continued on with the last little bit of my walk before getting home, and had my drink whilst on my walk back. I then got home just as my dad had got back with Bear from taking him for his walk, and Bear was very happy to see me, jumping up, getting very excited, giving him lots of kisses, bless him, and I was then playing with his rope toy, which he loves. I then had a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits. I was just reading a bit more of the 5th volume of Heartstopper, which we'll get through quite quickly, and the 6th and final book comes out later this year. So same with the film, which I'm so excited about. Cannot wait for the film Heartstopper Forever. Cannot wait. I keep seeing lots of clips and snaps and stuff about it on TikTok and Twitter, and it's getting me so excited for that. And then I was just tidying up my office and just worked on some illustrations, kind of so dozing. I was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and funny dog and cat videos and sea lion videos. And then for my tea I had a chicken and bacon pasta salad, and I'll show you guys that. The chicken and bacon pasta salad that I had for my tea was so delicious. I then just worked on 2 new illustrations and was listening to a bit of music, and I'll show you guys those new illustrations. Here's one of my new illustrations, starting off with the shoes. She's got these high heel boots on with some netting stockings on, and then she's got this shoulder padded long sleeved dress with cufflinks at the bottom of the sleeve with 2 buttons on. She's got a black ring on and some long black acrylic nails with some pretty patterns on. Then she's got buttons, these black buttons, and then a collar, a choker necklace, and this cross earring in, and some black studs on the top of her ears. And then she's got some winged eyeliner, which I'm loving doing at the moment. Adding some winged eyeliner and some eyelashes, and faces are probably one of my favourite things to do on my illustrations. And she's got this black shaved bit on the side of her hair and this long flowing hair. Here is my newest illustration for you guys. She's got this off the shoulder strapped beautiful gown. I love the little ruching bit at the bottom of the dress. She's got black nails on, this black ring on, and she's got this black choker necklace with fully ruffled bits at the bottom of the necklace. And she's got this pearl earring in, these stunning winged eyeliner and eyelashes, and the long flowing hair. It's so pretty. It's giving me Morticia Addams from Addams Family vibes. I'm so excited. I'm going to be getting the Monster High X Wednesday Morticia Addams doll, which I've just ordered, which should be arriving soon, and I'm sure you guys a snap of her. She is stunning, and I can't wait to have her in my collection. I've got all the other Monster High X Wednesday dolls, so I can't wait to add her to the collection. And I'm now off to go and watch Bugsy Malone with my younger sister, as earlier on we both had one of the songs stuck in our head and we hadn't watched it in ages, so we're going to go watch that. It's such a classic. And then after that I'm going to be watching today's Home Away and UK Saves, and then finish writing my journal entry for today, and I'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday and it's the end of the week, almost the weekend, and I got up early, showered and changed, ready to go off to morning group, and was listening to BB Rex's new song sampled with Faithless called New Religion, which is so good. I am loving her new album so much. I then was playing with Bear out in the garden, and it was another lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. I then had some crumpets with a cup of tea for my breakfast, and then I got dropped to morning group by my mum, and I got to morning group and just chatting with my morning group members all about how my week had been and asking them how their week had been. And we're doing some arts and crafts. Always love doing arts and crafts at morning group, found it so therapeutic. And we had some music playing, so we were listening to music whilst doing our arts and crafts. And we were doing some Mother's Day bits for the 15th, which is next Sunday. And then it was the end of the session, and we done a coffee and tea break just before we finished. And I had this lemon flavoured tea, which was so good, and some biscuits. And next week we're going to be having a movie morning, so we're going to be bringing in a DVD. So I'll remember to bring in a DVD next week for morning group, which should be fun. I then got picked up by my mum, and whilst waiting to get picked up from morning group, I got 2 selfies in front of some pretty blossoms, some white and yellow blossoms. And then me and my mum got back, and I then got myself ready to go off to check out this new pizza and bakery place in the high street called The Yard. So I headed off there, and whilst on my way up there I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got to The Yard and had a look around there, and it's really cool, and I got some snacks from there that I'll show you guys. It used to be the garden centre, so it felt a bit weird being in there, as the last time I was in where the garden centre used to be, it was the garden centre, but it's a really cute little bakery and pizza place, and there's a little bar as well. So I was having a nice look around there, and I got a cake and a hot chocolate from there, sat and had that, and then I went off and I went to child shops, went off to the book shop and then to Aldi and had a look at the Best Buy section, and I bumped into one of my mates, so I was chatting with them. And then I went off to the co-op and got myself some lunch from there and got some bits that I need to get from there. And then I went off to my grandma's to drop her prescription, and then I went off down to my town's castle and I got some snacks from the castle, and I'll show you guys those. I'm so fortunate to have a castle right on my doorstep where King Henry VIII has stayed, and I've had afternoon teas there before, and it's such a beautiful castle, and I love that water fountain. And then I went into the gardens and I got some snaps of some of the flowers from the garden, lots of spring flowers starting to appear, and I'll show you guys those. Those gardens are so beautifully kept. I then headed inside of the castle and went to the lounges where you can have afternoon teas or just pop in for tea or coffee if you want to, and I got some snacks from the lounges, and I'll show you guys those. The lounges are so beautiful with all the tapestries and chandeliers and the fireplaces, and they had some classical music playing, and was having a lovely time looking around there. I then made my way back and I got home and had my lunch. I had an apple juice that I got from Greg's I had in my bag that I got the other day that I forgot that was in my bag. So I had that and had some chicken and stuffing sandwiches that I got from the co-op. I was then just working on some illustrations, cutting some days in, and just reading some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and then watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some sea lion videos. I then tidied up my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and I'm now off to go and take Bear for a walk with my dad, and just see with a bit more of the vlog when we're back from that. It's late on in the evening now, and I got back from taking Bear for a walk with my dad, and we had a lovely stroll. It was a lovely, beautiful, sunny evening, and then we got back and I was just working on a bit of my short story that I've been working on at the moment, listened to a bit of music and just worked on some illustrations. I was then cutting some of those in and posting some of those onto my illustration Instagram account. I was then just watching some episodes of Doctor Who and some stuff off record, and I just finished watching. I was reading some more of Volume 5 of Heartstopper, and I had a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits. They're so good. I love a custard cream. I was then just listening to a bit of Enya and was just tidying up my office, my dolls and dollhouse. We then ordered tea, and for tea we were having a takeaway. I'd ordered a pizza to have for tea as I was really fancying a pizza. I was then getting my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 10 till 3 tomorrow. Don't start till 10, so it means I get to have a little bit of a lie-in. And then our takeaway arrived and I had my pizza for my tea, and I'll show you guys that. The pizza I had for tea was so delicious. I just had a plain margherita pizza. I then finished my journal entry for today, put that away, and then I had a cup of tea and was just reading some more of Volume 5 of Heartstopper, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Homeaway and UK soaps, and shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are having a lovely start to the weekend. I got up early ready for work and had some crumpets with a cup of tea for my breakfast. I then just watched a bit of TV, listened to some music, and was playing with Bear with one of his rope toys and having some cuddles with him. I then dropped up to work, and I was dropped up to work a little bit earlier than usual as my dad had to go off and run some errands. So I went off to one of the flower shops. I got some flower starts from there, and I'll show you guys those. They've got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with such lovely colours, lots of beautiful roses. I then got some stats on the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. We've always got such beautiful plant displays in the windows with all the succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves and pretty coloured plant pots. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag away and got my drink out to have for work. I had a bit of that, and then it got quite busy. We had lots of people coming in for breakfast and then for coffees, so I was doing lots of food and drinks, and saw and chatted to some of the burglars. We had people sitting inside as well as outside, so I was cleaning tables inside as well as outside, and we had a great music playlist playing, so I got myself singing along to some of the songs. I was cleaning tables, and there was 4 of us on in total, 1 on coffee, 1 on bar, 1 on float, and I was mainly on floor. I did go on bar a little bit, and then I went to have a bit of my drink, and my colleagues had hidden my drink. They like to play this little game on me where they hide my drink, mainly on Saturdays, and then I have to try find it. And in the end, they played hot or cold with me because I just could not find it anywhere. Then I found it, down the last little bit of that, and put that in the bin. And then I was cleaning some more tables, and my family friend Tom, who now lives abroad with his partner and their daughter, has come over to visit, and he didn't tell anybody, and had told work to see when I was next in, and came in and surprised me, and it was so lovely to see him. I literally did a double take. I was like, oh my gosh, and went over, gave him a big hug, and he squeezed very tightly. I was having a lovely chat with him, and it's so lovely to have them over. I then went out and had a nice chat with his partner and gave her a big hug, and our worker Jan, who's good friends with them, who comes into Hawks a lot, came out and saw them too, and they were having a good catch up with her, so I left them to it and was having a nice chat with Tom, and we were planning to meet on Monday, and I'm going to be going to the garden centre and then going off to meet them at the Alpaca Cafe, and they only live like 10 minutes away from there, so it'd be nice to catch up with them there. I then was wanting some more food and drinks, and it was quite a busy lunch rush with a lot of people coming in for food, and had quite a few big groups in, so it made it quite busy, and I was just cleaning lots of tables and wanting more food and drinks, and then it quieted down again, and I then finished at like 2:15 instead of 3, as there didn't need to be as many as there was of us on after it calmed down. So I then clocked off, got changed into this jumper I'm wearing now, and then I called Tash to see if she wanted to go to the yard. This pizza and bakery place is just open, but she didn't want to really be leaving the house before going to work at 5, so I ended up getting some lunch from our workplace instead, and I got a halloumi burger with some chips, and she got a cheesy burger, and I got it for her, and then she'd sent me the money over. I then went and got some cream cakes from Weatherford to have for me, Tash and Amelia, and then got to Tash and Amelia's, and we had our food, and I'll show you guys that. The food was so delicious. We then watched Ever After, and Tash and me loved that film, and Amelia hadn't seen it before. We then got chatting about going to see Rocky Horror in July, as we all love Rocky Horror, and it has Richard O'Brien, who created Rocky Horror, in Ever After, so we got talking about Rocky Horror, and I am planning to go as Frankfurter, so I was looking at costumes of that on Amazon, and then we got chatting about me potentially going into being an RSA, and about looking at stuff on Indeed, and was chatting about that for a bit, and then Tash had to get ready to go off for work, so I then headed off. I was on my way back, I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got back and got my clean uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 10 to 5. I then was watching a little bit of TV, listened to a bit of music. I'm working on a bit of my short story day I'm working on at the moment, and was working on some illustrations, coming some days in. I was reading some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I just tidied up my office and dogs at Noel House, and then I was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and funny dog and cat videos and C9 videos, and then for tea I had a pasta salad, and I'll show you guys that. The pasta salad I had for my tea was so good. I love a tuna pasta salad. I then finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch BGT, and then read some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, probably have another cup of tea with some of my biscuits, and then probably watch Hidden Wifery again. I'm just currently rewatching that. So good. I love Hidden Wifery so much. Did a TikTok about watching Hidden Wifery and used the sound from Mean Girls and captioned it when Heartstopper's taking over your life, which got a load of likes and comments, And yeah, I just love hot stuff so much. And see you with more vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up, showered and changed, ready for work. I was doing a 10 till 5. I then had my breakfast. I had some toast and a cup of tea, watched a bit of TV, had some bear cuddles, and was just listening to a bit of my Sunday music playlist. I then got dropped to work. I then got clocked in and put my bag and coat away, and it was just me and 2 other colleagues to start with, and then another colleague came in a bit later on. I was mainly on floor. One of them was on bar, another doing coffees, and it was quite busy with lots of people coming in for breakfast and for coffees. So I was running lots of food and drinks, cleaning lots of tables, and so I chatted to some of the regulars, and we had people sitting inside as I was outside. As although it was pretty dull, the weather stayed dry thankfully, and so we had lots of people sitting in a little covered area with the heaters on, and we have some blankets out there as well that they can use if they need to. And then we had a bit of a quiet period where I just done a massive clean up, and then it got quite busy again with lunch, and we had a big lunch rush and lots of people coming in for Sunday roasts. And then we had a musician come in and perform, and I hadn't seen this girl who comes in to perform for quite a while, and it was really nice catching up with her, and she always plays lots of songs from the 80s and 90s and some original material as well. And then I had a lunch break, and I had a chili dog, and they are humongous, so I had mine cut in half, and also had some onion rings instead of fries, and had a cola, and sat and had that, and was listening to music on my headphones, and we did a bit of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I'll show you guys a snap of the chili dog that I had. It definitely worked cutting it in half, and I was able to eat all of it and not feel too stuffed. I then just read some more of Heartstopper Volume 5 and just listened to some music on my headphones, and had set my alarm to go off when my lunch break had finished. My alarm then went off. I then put my headphones away in my bag with my book, and then put my plate and glass in glass wash and pot wash, and then continued on with my shift. I was running some food and drinks and doing some food and drink orders and drinks making, did a few milkshakes and smoothies, and was cleaning tables. And then one of our colleagues finished at 3, and then I was with Tash, whilst our manager, who I was on shift with from 3 to 5, had his lunch break, and then Tash finished, and it was just me and my manager on till 5, and it got quite busy again when it was just me and him, but we absolutely smashed it. And I was doing some coffees. I'm getting quite confident on the coffee machine now with coffee making, and was running food and drinks, cleaning tables, and just doing a few cleaning jobs that I could get done towards 5 o'clock. And then I finished and clocked off, got changed to this jumper that I'm wearing right now, and then I headed off and made my way back. And on my way back I had a lovely Sunday stroll, and I got some flour snaps, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty flower and blossom snaps whilst on my walk back. Spring is definitely on its way. I then got some cash out for the week ahead, as I like to have cash in hand, so I'm not always tapping on my card. Instead I can see what I've got in my hand, and helps me to not spend as much. And then I got back and I put my work clothes in the wash, and I'm not in work for a couple of days, so I'm looking forward to having a lie-in and not have to set any alarms. And my grandma then got brought over for tea, and we were having a Sunday roast. My mum was cooking that, and it smelled so good. Then my younger brother and his girlfriend arrived, and my older sister arrived as well. I then ended up having a little bit of a nap, and then I was just watching some vlogs, family dog videos and cat videos and sea lion videos, listened to a bit of music, and we just read some more of Volume 5 of Heartstopper, and listened to a bit of music, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. And then we were watching a little bit of Vic of Dibley, and it was a Colin Minogue episode where they think Elton John's coming to the Village Fete, but it's actually not the real Elton John, and it's probably one of my favourite Vic of Dibley episodes. And then it was time for tea, and we had our Sunday roasts, and then had some cake for pudding, and I'll show you guys that. Sunday roast that we had for our tea was so delicious. After serving lots of Sunday roast at work, I was really craving this Sunday roast, and it did not disappoint. We then tidied away the kitchen and watched a bit of Crufts played some games, and then my younger brother and his girlfriend headed home, and my older sister stayed for a little bit longer, and I had some of the cherry bakewell cake that my dad had got for pudding and a cup of tea, and I'll show you guys that. The cherry bakewell cake I had for my pudding and a cup of tea was so delicious. And then my older sister headed off home, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and then I'm going to be watching some episodes of Doctor Who. I've just been finishing watching The Girl in the Fireplace, which is probably my favourite Doctor Who episodes ever, and then tomorrow I'm going to be meeting up with Tom, Nestia and their daughter at Dobby's Garden Centre for a coffee catch up with them, which I'm really looking forward to. And I hope you guys have all had a great week and weekend, and will have a lovely new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog very soon.